Hello.
Hi, Norma. Is that you?
Hi, how are you? Yes, it is. Oh,
We have two of you here. Um, okay. Hi, Norma. Please introduce yourself to the others.
hi, my name is
Where are
Norma
you
Gonzalez,
from?
and I'm from Manchester, New Hampshire. An after-school program.
Norma, here today we have, I don't know if you know everybody, we have Maria Beatrice from Italy. We have Simon from Tanzania, Anders from Sweden, Alan from United States, Ilan from France. And the presentation today is from Adel. He's going to talk about IoT. So I think now we are ready to start. Thank you for your patience, and let's go through it, okay?
Thank you so much. Can you listen to me?
Sorry.
I can
Is
hear
it
you.
okay? Yes. Can I start?
Yes, and now we have Veronica from Mexico.
All right.
Hi, Veronica.
Hello.
So we just about to start, Veronica. Then we can make questions at the end, and we open for a discussion. Okay. So let's turn off the microphone so everybody can listen well. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So welcome everybody. So the title of my presentation is Getting Started with IoT. So it will not be really a very super technical presentation, but we want everybody to start with the Internet of Things concept. I'm presenting myself. I'm a computer science teacher in middle school in Tunisia. I got a diploma in computer science and with an option industrial computing in 2003. After that, I got a bachelor degree in computer applied on management from another university on 2007. And by 2014, I got a master's degree on new educational technologies. So this is our plan. So the first thing, we will define what is IoT. We will see some different words to work with IoT. And we will focus on the board, not the MCU or the ESP8266. We will see some project example. And an important slide, why should we teach IoT? I will also show you some workshops around Tunisia and the work that I made. And in the end, we will make a programming demo. Is it okay? Just one to, hey Louisa, if you can, just not mute your mic so I can have a kind of feedback from you.
Okay.
Okay.
Just, I would like you, if you possible, please speak a little bit more slower so everybody can understand you, because we have echoes and this stuff. Could you please?
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. What is IoT or Internet of Things? We have here a definition. It's a network of physical objects that can interact with each other to share information and take action. When we say physical objects, we might think about a computer, a phone, but in the near
I can't hear. Adele? Uh, Anders, can you hear? Adel, we lost him.
No, we lost him.
Okay.
Some,
We're
but
going to test how many we can have in
now
this session.
we could have a 10 of one.
We are on, we have 9, so.
Yes, that's. But its screen is shared, so I don't know. I don't know what's happened.
Yes, the microphone.
Yeah. No.
Could be an internet issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back. Oh, that's frustrating. I'm sorry.
So while we're waiting for Adele, I can update you on how Africa Code Week went actually.
Oh, that's great. Oh, you
Yeah.
should make a presentation about it.
Yeah, I think I will next time.
Yes.
But it was
Next week, Alan is going to talk to us, and so in 2 weeks you could present something, a resume maybe. Oh, it would be great.
It was really nice because we had the educational minister of Tanzania there. We had the minister from Ireland, the minister of diaspora and education, I think. And then we had a lot of SAP. We had like 3 representatives from SAP, and then we had people from GIZ who were here, and a lot of local educators and teachers were there, and it was really, really fun. We had girls who were live coding with Scratch, and it was so nice. And we had the morning where we were talking about different education initiatives, and we presented She Codes for Change, but also we had university incubators from University of Dar es Salaam, who they spoke about how they are teaching robotics, how they are helping startups to create, they are helping startups to create solutions using really cool technologies. And also, hey, you want to say hi? I think you met Heloisa.
Hello, how are you? Do you remember me? We met in Bordeaux. Hi. You can join us. Be our guest. You can stay.
I'm just passing by the office. I'm going somewhere else.
Okay, you are welcome. If you want to sit beside him, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to see you.
Yeah, so everybody's leaving. It's evening here, so people are leaving the office and saying bye.
Yes, great.
Yeah, but yeah, like, so it was really a lot of initiatives that are being done. I saw an initiative with the Raspberry Pi that was being done there, so it was really, really nice. But also, so they spoke about things like teaching Scratch, teaching innovation in local languages, and they spoke about localizing all these tools, for example, for IoT with Scratch, to make sure the kids and the teachers can explain concepts in the most relatable way. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you could put all these informations in anything more you have and show us. Yves from France told us that he's going to present something about the Europe Code Week. The people are having Europe Code Week also. So we could make all these presentations so we can exchange this information, how are things happening in each part of the world. It would be nice, I think.
Okay. I wonder where Adele is.
Yes.
Louisa, if Adele can't come back on, if he wants to reschedule for next week, I can delay for a week if that makes things easier.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he has a serious problem.
Simon.
Yes.
How many degrees have you now?
You mean temperature or?
Yeah, temperature. Celsius.
It's about 31, 32 Celsius degrees Celsius. Yeah.
30, 31, 30.
Yeah. In the evenings, because we are at the ocean, in the evenings it's colder. But during the day, it could be 30, 33, 34, but it feels like 40 degrees. So it gets pretty hot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But we are used, and it's 6. It's almost 6:30. So it's not hot.
No. So it's good now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cold.
Oh.
Anders, how many degrees?
Huh?
Anders.
Yes.
Sweden.
We had frost in the morning, about 0 degrees, or
Yeah.
maybe like that.
Yeah.
So it's getting colder in Sweden.
That is. Yeah.
So if you send some of your heat to us, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible. You just need to come over here and work with us and spend time with us here.
Yes, maybe.
Or in Brazil, we are just started the spring here, and last week we have 38 in the southern part of Brazil.
Yeah.
40, and then it's just spring, so it's the same line on the equatorial line. So
Yeah.
yes, you can come here, be my guest. You're welcome. Okay, so what do you think to do about Adele? I can't reach her out. What's your suggestion?
I think we can reschedule, but I see Veronica is 18 degrees. Wow.
Alan, what did you say about what can we do about Adele?
Well, if he wants to present next week, that's fine with me, and I'll just delay. If not, I can go next week. But you know, if you'd like to, it looks like he's obviously having some technical problems.
Yeah. I think you can have a conversation with him, and if he wants to do it next week, then we move the schedule like that. But otherwise, he could present the coming week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fairly flexible. So the only thing is for me, after November 4th, I'd have to do it during the week. Saturdays I tutor.
Yeah.
So I'm free for the next couple of Saturdays, but other than that, we can do it this time on Fridays or any other day of the week, pretty much.
Or maybe you could talk, Alan, do you think you can talk something for us about IoT, just as an introduction, because, or to use the time? What do you think, people? Just to take advantage that all of us are here. What do you think?
I can try. Hopefully, I don't have anything prepared, and hopefully I'm not going to confuse people, but I'll try. So the whole object of IoT is to be able to...
Because I don't know anything. I couldn't understand a line what Adel has said, so I need some more explanation, please. Sorry, I'm doing my best.
IoT stands for the Internet of Things. And really all it means is being able to connect a bunch of sensors and actuators. Actuators are things like lights and motors to the internet and have these things interact with each other. So an example might be that from your cell phone, you may want to start up your car if it has the right software in it. So the cell phone would send a message to your car would start and would be nice and warm if it was a cold day. There are a gazillion other things that you can use it for. My purposes are mostly to run things like little robot kind of things. And it works by sending messages over the internet. It uses a computing pattern called pub-sub, or publisher subscriber. The way that works is that you have a piece of software that can subscribe to what's known as a topic. So a topic can be, my piece of software wants to know every time the mouse moves on the screen, but I don't care about keyboard. So I have a topic that says mouse movement, and when the mouse moves, I have another piece of software that publishes that information, where the position of the mouse, that kind of thing. Now, you would develop this, the topics and the messages are all up to the developer. What it allows is, it's a reactive type of system. What that means is that when something changes, you get immediate notification. So it's, it would be used in a robotics kind of situation, or if you need to know, people are using it in things like greenhouses, so that if the temperature rises in the greenhouse, you may want to open some of the windows automatically, those kind of things. Things that you need to do fairly quickly, that you want to react to. Does that make any sense?
Yes. And what is the difference? How can I say? What do you have to do to control everything?
So, I mean, there are several pieces. I mean, so you're going to need the hardware, and it looked like Adel was going to be talking about a specialized kind of, it's a board that's similar to the Arduinos. It has, I believe, I'm not that familiar with the ESP boards, but I believe they allow you to easily connect to the internet. I'm using, for most of my stuff now, I'm using a Raspberry Pi. The Pi 3 has internet connectivity, so it makes it fairly easy. So once you have the hardware, now you need some software. And in order for the software to work, you need to use some sort of framework. So the most popular one at this point is called MQTT, which came out of IBM. And what that allows you to do is to go across the internet so that you can have, let's say, again, if you're monitoring something like a greenhouse, you may want to get some of the statistics, temperature rise, humidity, the rest of that, and you can get that on your phone, while you're at work. And it's designed to go across multiple internet nodes. The things that I'm doing, I don't really need to do that. I work in an area where I'm using essentially a private LAN. It's right now it's going across the router in my house, but it doesn't go any further than that. It can, but if I'm controlling a robot, just trying to make it move forward and backward and see what it's seeing if I have a camera on it, I don't need to have that kind of remote across the internet. I'm not doing this from my home or from somebody else's house and seeing what my robot is seeing. It's more just controlling things as fast as possible. And that was my whole goal, was to get things to work very, very quickly.
Sorry about my ignorance about this, but in the medical, they have, for instance, a doctor can control a robot. You said about robot. They can control a robot that is going to make a surgery in another country, for example. Is that an IoT example? Should it or not? Because it's already exists.
Yeah, I don't know what technology they're using. I don't know if they're using MQTT or some other thing. But yeah, that is a good example, because when the doctor is manipulating his local controls, it has to work quickly at the site where the patient is. So you need to be able to get the messages that do the actual operation from the doctor who is performing that operation remotely. So yeah, that's a very good example.
Oh, okay. And another example should be, we know that there are some stuff such as refrigerators or something like that, that you can turn on or control the temperature at home using your phone. Is it another example?
Yeah. There's so many things. I mean, there is, I'm not sure if it's sold internationally. There's a thermostat, the thing that controls the heat and cooling of your house. It's by a company called Nest, and that can be done remotely as well. One of the problems that they're worrying about with IoT, that people are going across the internet, security is not all that great. So somebody can potentially do mischief. So if they know that you have a system, they can, let's say an alarm system for your house, they can turn off your alarm system and then break into your house. There are problems now. IoT also is being used. A lot of the new cars have these, instead of keys, they have these little things you put in your pocket and you press a button. People are opening and starting cars with Raspberry Pis that are not their cars. They're not doing, well, they may be doing it maliciously, but people have shown that that can be done. So there's a big problem with IoT in terms of security, and that is not being addressed right now. So like your example of the doctor, the one thing you don't want to have happen is while he's performing his operation, you don't want to have somebody coming in and taking over the controls and doing damage to the patient.
Yes, because sometimes the people who are not in the same country and they don't have time to wait.
Yes. I mean, it has great potential.
I don't know how long this IoT has been, because I have learned about this kind of stuff, the doctors operating robots remotely from another country. I think they are using internet, isn't it?
Most likely, yeah. I mean, there's been forms of it forever. I mean, when they send satellites up into space and they control the satellite, it's not over the internet, but I mean, it's remote control. So it's kind of it's not Internet of Things, but it's, that's where it came from, is being able to control things remotely.
Okay. Thank you. Oh,
Looks like
Adel is back. Almost. Oh,
Hello.
here he is. Oh, happy you're
Look,
back.
I'm extremely sorry. I don't understand the problem. Super sorry, really.
Too much energy from many people.
I'm really, it's the first time that it happens to me. So, okay, I will try to be quick, okay, and to make the conversation, okay?
I'm a bad student, so I asked for another teacher to explain me because I wasn't understanding, so I need the extra classes. So Alan kindly was explaining something about IoT while waiting for you. So welcome.
All right, cool. So I can continue with the tool, not coming back to the concept, right?
Okay.
Okay, so I will try, Amis, to make this interesting for everybody. I'm super sorry. Let's try.
Yes, the concept,
right.
we were discussing the concept. So
all right, okay.
Now I think everybody understood. So we can start from this part on.
All right. All right. So this is the concept. We already spoke about this. So now the problem when if you want to start a board to make a project, usually you all know, I think, the Arduino Uno. Luisa, you know it, right?
Okay.
Okay. So this board, the problem with this board is that this board is not there is no connectivity with it in origin, which means that if you want to connect it to the internet, you need another shield. So it means that you need to make a new board, to pay another component to make it connected. Okay. So Arduino company, they made a new hardware called Arduino Maker 1000, and it costs $30. It's like the Arduino Uno, but with Wi-Fi.
I just saw a message that said someone had muted Adel. I'm not
Yes.
hearing him. I don't know if anybody else is.
Anders, please, the control, just for you, the control of the room, okay?
Yes, but I don't see him. I don't know where he is.
Yes, Veronica has turned him off.
But he could turn it on by himself.
Yes, but he doesn't know.
Ah.
No.
Do you listen to me?
Yeah.
Yes. No,
all right.
But somebody cut you off.
It's strange.
Okay, sorry.
So did you see this slide?
Yes.
So I was saying that the regular, if you want to work with IoT, usually people or electronics, they start with the regular Arduino Uno board, but now Arduino made a new board called Arduino Maker 1000, and it costs $30. So it's not that cheap. And if you want, also you want to make a project, you can also use the Raspberry Pi, but it's a computer and it's a little bit complicated. So my suggestion is to use this family, the ESP8266. So the ESP8266 is from the company called Espressif. It's a Chinese company. So they built a small chip, this one, and the super good thing about this chip is like a microcontroller, is like an Arduino Uno, but with Wi-Fi. And the good thing with this is the price. For example, this board, not MCU, is $4. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay, just I need to get the feedback to be sure.
This Nodenko that you are always talking, your posts is Chinese.
Yes, not MCU. Yes, this is the magical board. If you are working with, if you are a user of Arduino Uno, and you want to make something with connectivity, unfortunately, the Arduino Uno is not the right for me. Is not the right tool. So you need to move to the ESP because of the price and mainly I think because of the price. There is several of possibility. There is this node MCU, but also there is this WeMOS. It's the same. You can do the same almost like node MCU. It's just it looks like an Arduino Uno. The third board is from Adafruit, and it costs $10. What can we do with this board, not the MCU or ESP8266? We can make, for example, an embedded web server to monitor temperature of your room, or to monitor or network of motion sensors. Imagine, for example, you have a lot of motion sensors around your house, and you want to monitor them. So you can plug monitor this sensor to node MCU and make a network of sensors. And it's very easy to do, even for a person not working on computer science or electronics. You can also control your home object with your Android phone. You can get a notification on social media with Facebook, Twitter, when, for example, your plant needs water. You can also build a remote controlled robot. So with just this board, the MCU, you can really make all these projects, and in very low price. Is it clear for now?
Yes.
Question about this? Any question? Any remark? Is it clear for everybody?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I mean, these examples usually they are technically in the past they are hard to do, but now with this chip and the improvement of technology, it will be very easy even for a beginner. So why should we teaching IoT concept at school? The IoT, when you speak about IoT, first you will learn electronics. You will also learn programming because we program in blocks. You will also learn some networking concepts like IP address, gateway. You need to know them, and how to design a small network. You will also learn about web services. And one important thing is to break the barrier between software and hardware. So this is the tool that I made. It's called Trinyot for ESP8266. It's an online tool. It's based on Blockly. So you will program it like if you are used with App Inventor, it's almost like App Inventor or Blockly Arduino. It's the same interface. It generates an Arduino code, but this code is oriented to the ESP8266. The tool is available in 4 languages, so English, Arabic, French, and Spanish. And I made documentation with a list of 35 videos on YouTube. With these videos, you can start from the beginning, how to install the IDE and or the environment, to how to make a network, for example, of sensors, how to control your light with your Android phone, or how to use MQTT. Alan was speaking about MQTT, and we are using it, and it's very easy to program.
Excuse
me. Is it clear for this?
Excuse me, I have a question. You
yes.
said that you made this online too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. This Trinyot.
Sorry, yes. Yes, TUNIOT. It stands for Tunisia IoT. This is the reason.
Okay. And
I will show you. I will make a demo later.
Yes. Just one question, please. The 4 languages. And
yes.
Then Chinese. Who helped you? How?
This documentation, I didn't make this documentation. I made only the documentation in English, and some other people around the world, they made the documentation in Hindi, in Chinese, and I saw one guy in Italian.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's not me. I don't know Chinese or Hindi.
Yes, but someone translated your material for another language.
Exactly, yes. So there is an interest about this, about the tool.
Great. Please go on.
Yes, this is the message that I wanted to say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Yes. So, because all of this, so we should teach IoT at school. I started teaching this and spreading this technology in Tunisia. So this is my first workshop in primary school. These are primary school students, 6th grade in Tunis, and we made like 3 workshops. In the beginning, we used Arduino, and after that, we moved to Node MCU. And it was very easy for them. So the project was to move. We have a servo motor, and this flag is connected to the servo motor, and we have to control the flag over Wi-Fi. The other workshop, this one is for middle school and high school in Jerba, in my hometown in the south of Tunisia. And the interesting thing about this workshop, these kids. They are member of an association, and they are familiar with Arduino, and they can program. They are very comfortable working with it, and they work with Blockly-Arduino. So when I bring them the tool, they made a lot of projects and very quickly. So moving from Arduino to ESP8266 is very easy. This is another workshop. It's my last workshop. As you can see, it's in the art gallery. And we made some electronics and IoT workshops. All these young people, they are students from different fields, and they are also active with their association, and they will teach more kids and also students these concepts. Around the world. So I made, for now, I made a workshop in Kenya. I started with this, and also in France during the Scratch conference of Bordeaux. And I will present my tool also in the International Tool Fair of Bulgaria next month. Do you have a question about this? Because now I will go to the demo.
That's okay. Go on, please.
All right. So this is my site. This site is call it easycoding.tn. So you will find everything from the documentation to the tools to the workshops that I made. So you will not be lost. I have my own version of Blockly-Arduino. I think some of you, they know it. And this is my version of TUNIOT for ESP8266. I will try to show you in this example, like Hello World in IoT, how we will connect our board to the internet or to Wi-Fi network, okay? I will do this example, and later you can ask me if you want to see another thing. So I have a full category here. It's called IoT. It's all these blocks, they work only with the ESP8266. So the first thing I will do, I will try to connect to my Wi-Fi network. As you can see here, I have the IoT station mode. I have 2 options. So I can connect to a network with password and or a network without password. So for example, let's say I have a network with password. So I just plug this here, okay? So the next step is, you know, when you ask to connect to the internet, to Wi-Fi network, your device, a computer or your phone will try to connect. So with this loop, the board will try to connect to the internet, to the Wi-Fi. Is it okay? I'm just showing you what you can do. Unfortunately, we get that problem, so I need to do it fast. So with this 2 blocks, you are already connected to a Wi-Fi network. Let's say you want to run a web server. So you go to IoT server and you will call this block start server on port 80. So this block will make your board run as a server. Let's imagine I want to, for example, in our web server, I want to display a web page. So what I need to do, I will add this wait connection block. So it will wait for any connection, and I will make a web page. So I have a full category here, web page, where I can design my web page. I will put it here, this page. What this page will do, when I will access to my board over Wi-Fi, I will have a blank, an empty web page. So I will show a message. For example, I will show hello world. And for example, this block will show a message on. I can access to my board with from the web with a web browser. Let's say, for example, I want to send an information to Twitter when or to Facebook where an event is happening. So I will show you how to do this in a very easy way. I have here in web services, I have a block that connects to a website called IFTTT. So this block will sound, if I fill these blocks with specific information, it will send information to Facebook. For example, I can say, oh, there is an attack. Okay, so this block will send an information on Facebook. There is a step that I need to do, which is connecting to the site IFTTT. I just need here to make if statement. I will say if, for example, for example, a digital value, for example, is equal to 1, which means that let's imagine I have a motion sensor, and that motion sensor will give me 1 if there is a motion. This block will send a message on a Facebook account if there is a motion around you. So what I wanted to say about this example, that the programming part is very easy, as you can see. You just need to follow the documentation and to start step by step. And I think that everybody can program IoT without any background on programming or electronics or web services. So if you have any question.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
I'm super sorry because I was like disturbed by the interruption, so I'm super sorry.
Okay.
Adel, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is the connectivity essentially, I'll call it one-to-one? So do you have, let's say, an actuator on one side of the connection and a sensor on the other? Or if you have an actuator, or I'm sorry, a sensor, that can it send to multiple actuators, multiple connections?
Yes, you can do with Wi-Fi, because we are using Wi-Fi. It's not a Bluetooth. We are using Wi-Fi. You can control with the same, with the same connection. You can control a lot lot of sensors. You can get information from these sensors. You can get information from these sensors. You can control, for example, LED. You can control relay. You can control anything. You are not limited by any number. And the cool thing with he said MQTT. The cool thing about MQTT, you can control, for example, your relay with your lamp or your fan from anywhere in the world. I have a blocks. I will show you that connects you to MQTT server of Adafruit web services. Yes, this is the block. Alan, are you watching me?
Yes, I am.
So these blocks, they are super easy. They will subscribe to the Adafruit MQTT server, and they will get an information. And this is the information. Read last value. So you can control anything in your house from the internet with MQTT. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. If you have a streaming sensor, something like, I'm trying to think of one. I know in a robot they have things that are line followers. Essentially, it's a light sensor, and it's constantly sending out data.
Okay, let's say you want to get data from a web server. Okay, this is your question. You want to get an information, right?
Yeah. Well,
how to get an information? Okay, I will show you the block. When I showed you the web server mode, so which means that you are acting as a server. Your board is acting as a server. Let's say you want to be a client and you want to get information from other server. I have only one block. It's called send request with an answer. You will put here the IP address and the message that you want to send. Okay, yep. So let's imagine I have already made a web server that will display value of a sensor, and I made a client that sends requests and asks for this sensor. It's just this block, and you put this into a loop like this, and you can put this value. I mean, you will get this value put it into variable, and you can do whatever you want. Is it clear?
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
I don't think that if I understand, but for example, we could do a program, for example, asking for this group who is going to participate in next section and get from them the answer, and or not. For example,
here when you speak about IoT,
yes.
When you speak about IoT, usually you speak about hardware. So we need a hardware. So we need to have a hardware. This is the point. Okay. If you have a hardware and you want to connect it to the internet and control it, it's super easy.
Okay.
What I was I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What I was asking was, what I was trying to say, if you have a streaming sensor with using MQTT, if you have a streaming sensor that's continuously sending data at a very rapid pace, do you have latency issues at all? Meaning that if I need to react to something, I'm not getting that information because of the, for a very long period of time. I need, if I'm looking to get something immediate, I'm guessing there's some latency involved.
I didn't try this. I mean, so I really can't, for streaming, I didn't try. So I really cannot answer you technically. Okay. If it is perfectly working, but I know that it's very easy to get information. Streaming and working with, I mean, in very hard situation for the ESP, I don't know. So okay. I can't answer.
Yeah, I don't, MQTT, at least my opinion is, wasn't designed for streaming applications. It's excellent to get things across the internet, but in playing with some of this stuff locally, I found that the latency of MQTT is pretty high. Again, installations. For other things where you're just trying to turn on a motor, turning it off, that's fine.
Yes, exactly. Yes, you know, for me, I'm an educator mainly, and we this tool, I think I see it more for beginners with IoT, for persons who are not familiar with these concepts and they want to make something practical. So making a workshop, like 1 day or 2 day or 3 days workshop with this tool, will introduce them in a very quick way to all these concepts. If, of course, if you are an engineer or a student in engineering or telecommunication, I think they need they will not use blocks programming.
You did a really nice job.
Yeah, thank you. So this is the point. I mean, for me, we want to do practical workshops for everybody, so they really make they can make their Android app. They will control, for example, a lamp, or they will send an information on Facebook or Twitter, or practical workshops makes all the difference.
Yes, you're right. Wonderful work. Thank you very much.
Can you ask me any question, because I know that a lot of people that are just beginner, they might ask themselves, oh, can I really control my for example, the door of my house with an Android phone that I made? I say yes, with this tool it's possible. I just wanted to show you this playlist. Can you see? I share my screen. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So this is the playlist that I was talking about. You will start from the install of the environment. For example, in tutorial 3, you will work with LED like a regular Arduino Uno. In the first part, you will use, for example, the ESP as a regular Arduino Uno, so no connectivity. Okay. From the video number 10. This video, you will start the connectivity part. So you will see, for example, what is dynamic IP address, what is static IP address. For example, you can see how to post something on Facebook. And I don't know if you see, it's just 7 minutes here. So if you just follow this video, in 15 minutes, you will send your first information on Facebook.
I don't think so,
IP.
but anyway.
Sorry?
Adel, let me ask you something. I'd like to, I think it's interesting since we have different levels of understanding of this matter. For example, me, that I don't understand anything about this, and the super guys, super jigs guys here. So I think it's wonderful. So everybody could understand a little bit of what it's possible.
Yes.
Subject. And know about this wonderful work you have already done. I think it would be great if we have the link for this.
Yes,
these videos, tutorials, videos.
Yes,
and
I will
I also think that the thing is not finishing here and today. I think we have much more questions to discuss. My suggestion is that next session, Alan is going to talk about something, and we should discuss a little bit more about this, and for sure we'll have a lot of questions.
My point of view about this, you know, IoT will be part of our near future. For sure it will be. So it's time to start. Everybody of us will start one day. So this one day we don't want to be we don't want that it is too late. We can start now. We can, of course, do this step by step. And as you can see, the board is very cheap. and we need to follow this technology and teach this to kids. It's very important.
Okay, thank you very much. We are about finishing our session. I'd like to ask to the others if they have any question, or otherwise I invite everybody to be here for next session that Alan's going to present, and we can keep on with this discussion because there's a lot of material to process, to understand. So, Beatrice, Anders, Norma, Simon, would you like to say something?
Or to ask something?
Just, I think it's important to learn IoT also for students because it's, they have to understand how are controlled by someone else. I mean, to learn how to work something, you can learn how someone control you in some way. He also, as Simon told, wrote, is important also to practice. We should practice to understand better. No, that's what do you mean? What do you mean? You mean, Simon? Is that idea?
Simon, we don't hear you. No, we don't hear you, Simon. No? You can write and we can read.
How about now? Can you hear me?
It's okay. Yes, good.
Yeah. So like I was saying, I think for educators, yes, it's really good to hear these tools, but I think we could try to practice this on our own and to be able to get a clear understanding, because the presentation is really nice, and thank you for a good presentation, Adel. But I think it would be really nice if, because I'm an educator here also, it would be good to try out and see how it works before I can say I'm going to teach it. Yeah.
Veronica, would you like to tell something just?
Yes, when at first I love this work because we have workshops in Mexico. We are a team. This is a really nice thing because if I don't know something, somebody knows about, and this is real so important for us because we have in our group 3 people who knows all about this kind of works and programming and codes and IoT, and I think this is so so easy to learn and to teach for students and for teachers, because we teach teachers too, and the students have a lot of ideas, and when we put it all together, they said, oh, I want to do that and that and that and that, but I don't have the tools. But I think this is a good tool, and I please, could you give us your link of your page, because I only write something. Is easy coding?
Yes,
or
he's going to send us.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Norma, are you here? I don't think so. They left. Okay, so to keep on time, so I'd like to thank you very much, Adel, for your presentation.
Thank you. It was a pleasure
I'd like
for me.
to thank everybody for being here for this wonderful session, for your contribution. And I invite everybody to next week session when Adel is going to talk with us. Maybe another one, Simon talk about Africa Code Week, and another one, Eva's talking about Europe Code Week. So thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.